We have multiple Lakers trade updates to go over today as a brand new report has dropped revealing a very interesting new Lakers trade target. We're going to break down exactly who that is and what the report entails. We're also going to go over a new report that has dropped surrounding current Laker Gabe Vincent. And this update revolves around him getting traded. Stay tuned for all that in this episode, folks. But before we get into it, a quick reminder, hit that subscribe button. If you're part of the 83% who aren't subscribed to the channel, it's the place to be for daily Lakers content. So if you're enjoying the content, make sure to smash that subscribe button. And also, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to all of you who celebrate. It's, of course, Christmas Eve right now. So hopefully you're enjoying time with your families and all of that. And thank you guys again for your continued support this year. We're going to continue pumping out content all the way into 2025. But ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of things going on right now, specifically regarding the Los Angeles Lakers. We're going to start with the Gabe Vincent stuff, and then we'll dive into the brand new trade report surrounding a new target for the Lakers. Well, let's start with this. You can see this here from Jovan Buha. Shout out to him. He's been, a fairly notable insider, giving a ton of Lakers information as of late. And he hasn't stopped here. Report the Lakers are more open to keeping Gabe Vincent. And this is a very interesting thing, but I also want to preface it by saying there's some more context about this report that is going around. Don't misconstrue his words. This is a paraphrase of what he said regarding Gabe. Gabe's play gives him more trade value. From LA's perspective, similar to D'Lo, they were okay with keeping him, but still shopped him because of his contract. And they ultimately weren't able to trade D'Lo, at least haven't been able to trade D'Angelo Russell yet because of A, his contract, and B, his lack of, good play, I guess, his poor play. But this is super interesting on a few reasons here and on kind of multiple levels. So for one, you're looking at it from the perspective of, Gabe Vincent. He obviously was signed. He played really well for the Miami Heat, and then he was signed by the Lakers, and he really hasn't done much this season. We've been talking about him on the channel a lot about how, we're going to dive into a bunch of other reports here, but as you start to look at the depth chart, at the moment, he is kind of the backup 2. We've seen him at the backup 1 at times. We've seen him be very good for the Lakers in very brief stints, but he just hasn't been the player that Lakers fans were hoping he was going to be. With Miami, he was a great, a fairly good facilitator, a decent scorer, very good, tenacious, I would say, defender. He's obviously not super tall or anything. But now with the Los Angeles Lakers, he's kind of lost a bit of that. And what at the start of the season, at least. And now, as of late, as we all know, despite their, brutal loss there yesterday, he's starting to play a little bit better. He's starting to look more comfortable. He's starting to kind of flow into the lineup better. He's overall just playing much better than he was, of course, earlier on in the year. And what that does is it gives him more trade value. Like you can see this here, similar to D'Lo, they were okay with keeping him. And that's what leads to the report of they're more open to keeping Gabe Vincent. So it's a bit of an interesting thing. He's obviously playing better, so that would naturally make Rob Pelinka more inclined to keep him. But at the same time, because of his play and how well he's played lately, it also gives him more trade value. So if he's going out there and can net you a decent pick or, a player to help you with this current team, obviously LeBron's kind of last hurrah here, I wouldn't be opposed to it at all, and the front office wouldn't be opposed to it. But it's interesting because, a couple of weeks ago, before he was playing really well, or a month or so ago, it was, hey, we're going to trade Gabe Vincent no matter what, salary matching, whatever it was. Now he's playing better. Trade could still be on the horizon, but they're a bit more open to keeping him because of his great play. And again, the full report was that his play gives him more trade value. And from LA's perspective, they were okay with keeping him, but still shopped him because of that contract. So ultimately, he's going to be on, Rob Pelinka to see what value you can get out of him. Him playing well, no matter what way you frame it, whether you keep him or don't keep him playing well is a benefit to this Los Angeles Lakers team. It's either going to help the bench or he's going to continue to rise his trade value. And if they decide to move him going forward, then of course that's the route they're going to take. And they do a good job at that, getting hopefully the most value for that asset. But let me know down below what your thoughts are on this. Again, they're more open to keeping him, but they'll still shop Gabe Vincent similarly to how they shopped D'Lo last season. The problem was nobody wanted D'Lo because of his contract and his, his max contract and his play. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. Obviously, Gabe Vincent isn't on a max contract, so it should be a bit easier to move him compared to D'Lo, who is in the max contract, or was, sorry. Still is. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this. But we also have a new trade update now surrounding Bruce Brown. So the Lakers have interest in Bruce Brown. They thought they were going to sign the guard in 2023 before he signed with the Pacers. And we know he signed for that 2-year, pretty hefty deal. And you basically see this here. The Lakers have continued to show interest in Toronto Raptors guard Bruce Brown after nearly signing him as a free agent in 2023. I know the Lakers like Bruce Brown. He said, I thought they were going to get him before he went to Indiana. The 28-year-old signed a 2-year, $45 million contract with the Pacers in 2023. And of course, he was moved in that Siakam deal. And he's on the same contract. He has 1 more year left. He's slated to become a free agent at the end of this season, with Toronto prioritizing young players surrounding the All-Star forward Scotty Barnes. The Raptors are pure interested in moving the veteran instead of watching him potentially leave during the summer, which is very true. So essentially, we know that Bruce Brown came to the Raptors in that Pascal Siakam trade, and Masai Ujiri's plan was initially to trade him for a first-round pick They obviously weren't able to get that last trade deadline, so you're going to hopefully keep him and see if they can do that at this upcoming trade deadline. The problem is Bruce Brown, has been injured, and he, of course, he is a championship winner, played with the Nuggets, but he's been injured the entire year. He's yet to play a game, and he played around 26 games, I believe it was, for the Raptors last season. But you see this here. He's on the floor for 26 and a half minutes per game. He hasn't suited up this season after undergoing knee surgery. But his participation in practice suggests he may be able to return soon. And again, Brown appears to be a target ahead of the deadline. Guys who can stop the ball, all these different things. But Bruce Brown is a very solid player. There's no, ifs, ands, or buts about it. The problem is his health has been concerning. And last season, he played a lot of games, obviously, for the Raptors. And, he averages around, 10 points, 4 boards, 2 assists. Obviously, last season with the Raptors, he put up 9.6 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 2.7 assists per game in 36 games. So a bit more games than I thought. But regardless, he can give you 10 points. But the thing is with him, he can do everything out there. He can play great defense when healthy. He can be a fairly decent passer. He is not a facilitator by any means, but he is a very capable passer. And of course, he can shoot the 3 ball. So when you're looking at what, the reports came out from JJ Redick and saying what the Lakers trade plans are, they obviously have a few different things. They want a defensive-minded center. They want a point of attack defender, meaning Bruce Brown. He can guard the opposing team's best player. I'm not saying he could do it, he's not one of the best lockdowns in the league, but he's a very capable 3-and-D wing. He can guard the other team's, point guard. He can do anything you want him to do. The Lakers kind of need a guy like that. And the more you look at, again, the depth chart here, Bruce Brown would kind of fit seamlessly into this team. He's obviously a shooting guard naturally. So if you're trading Gabe Vincent, you're trading whoever else, you trade Max Christie, you could either have Bruce Brown start for you. You could have him play off the bench, of course. You have Dalton Connect as well, who's obviously a bigger guy who can play small forward there. You still have Rui, who is obviously starting. But as you continue to kind of mess with the starting rotations and mess with the lineups and even just, the rotations that JJ Redick wants to run here, Bruce Brown would give you that point of attack defender. He'd also just give you a perfect, and he would be a buy low fit because the Raptors are hoping to get a first. I'm not entirely sure they're going to be able to get a first round pick out of Bruce Brown. They offered one last trade deadline. They got offered a first for Bruce Brown, but in that week 2023 draft class or 2024, whatever the last draft class was, in a weak year, the 2024 draft class, the Raptors didn't want to trade, for another pick in a weak draft class that, of course, they ultimately picked Jacoby Walter in. But as you start to think about how many picks the Raptors have, if they'll take a young player, maybe whoever you want to go for, or maybe a Gabe Vincent who's not young, but maybe would help the Raptors a little bit. I don't think the Raptors want Gabe Vincent. Maybe a guy like Max Christie, one of their prospects. There's a lot of different things. Obviously not Bronny James or anything like that, but maybe they take a flyer on a guy like Cam Reddish in a second round pick, something of that nature. Super low value. I think if you're able to get Bruce Brown for low, then it would be a perfect fit for this Los Angeles Lakers team. And I'm very curious to see what you all think down below. Let me know exactly what you would give up for a Bruce Brown type deal. And also let me know what your thoughts are on this Gabe Vincent report. Tons of reports are dropping. Trades are going to be coming. The Lakers are, of course, still playing games. So we're going to keep you up to date with all the latest news. So make sure to hit the subscribe button. And thank you guys once again for your continued support. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you all. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and we'll see you later.